Hello, everyone. This is your host here from Alternative Reality, Luca. And I just came back from a walk. And I was thinking to myself how difference is actually beautiful. And what do I mean by difference is beautiful? Well, I used to think all the time that being different was weird and that being the person I am is how I'm not like other people in the way I live. I'm not saying this to be boastful or whatever. I'm saying there's a lot of different people in the world and so-called weird people. But instead of thinking this as a negative thing, I tend to think of it more positive because when I look at something that happens in life, and we should all do this because life is something full of, it's going to be full of endeavors and it's going to be full of happiness, but it depends on where you are in that stage of life. Right now, necessarily, you may be facing struggles, and that's very hard, but just know that all struggles come to an end if you do your best to fight through them. I mean, every storm has an ending and every storm has a beginning. But you may be sitting right now saying, everyone else is doing this, but why am I not doing this? And just know that there's a reason for you not to be doing that. There's a reason. Every individual was born for a reason. We weren't born to be exactly the same as our neighbors or as other people close to us. That's not the purpose. For if everybody was the same, what difference would there be in the world, and what would be accomplished if we all did the same thing? If everyone was a medical doctor, there would be no firefighters, there'd be no police officers, there'd be no soldiers, there'd be no chefs, there'd be no soccer players, for an example. But if we appreciate our differences, and I know most differences feel as if they are burdens and if they are something that isn't righteous, but if we continue to live and allow the day by day, live day by day, for if you live in the future, you're just gonna rack your brain and you're just gonna think, why am I doing this right now? And in the future, what am I gonna do in the future? And if you live in the past, you're gonna emotionally scar yourself because you're just gonna be holding onto that rope that's ripping through your skin every day. The more you hold on to something, so that's why I say to live in the present, because every day is purposeful and every day has a reason. If I do something today, I know that tomorrow it's something different, or it could be different. Today, that what I did today was for today. What I do tomorrow is for tomorrow, and being a different person is a very good thing, and accepting your differences is even more important, because you're the only person who can make a difference in this world. And at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the same. I mean, no offense to the modern society, but our music and our media posts is all violent and negativity, and it's all full of garbage. And I'm not trying to offend anybody or offend corporate companies. That's not who I am. But I'm being honest. If you look at the 50s, for an example, the 1950s, a lot of people were hungry, but it was one of the happiest times in our civilization and in our Western society, because they lived for family, they lived for friends, they lived for inclusion, they lived for happiness, and they also listened to a lot of comedy. A lot of comedy. So think of it like this. This is my theory. In the 50s, people would be suffering, right? But they would be listening to things that would lift their spirits, and they'd be close to family. And then they prevailed through those struggles. But now it seems as if we have everything and we are, in quote, happy, but in reality we're not happy, because there's a lot of stress in the Western society, and there's a lot of evil in our media, bringing us down with the media. I mean, think about it. You have a roof over your, not everybody, but just say you have a roof over your head, you have food every night, you got a family, you got friends, but you're connected but disconnected in somehow. I mean, you go to watch a TV show. Every TV show I see so far is all depressing. It's all depressing garbage. And I'm not trying to be rude, but it's what the reality is. And the music too. I mean, not everybody listens to the rap music. I got no problem with rappers, because that's their hustle. God bless. But the words and lyrics are just them boasting. It's not something to be listening to. Why don't you celebrate yourself instead of celebrating rappers who are saying, oh, I got all this money, I got all this. If you're going to be idolizing these people, why don't you focus on yourself instead and lift yourself up? Then when you lift yourself up, you can lift others up. And that's not what rappers, and that's not what the media is doing here. The media is indeed trying to bring people down. But I wish all positive energy to people. I wish peace to everybody. I got respect for everybody. I mean, that's the way we should be. And for people to label people good and bad, you know better yourself. I don't look at people that way. I look at people, I don't judge them by what they do. If I can understand their character and get to know their character, then I could make an assumption within my head. But who am I to say what's bad and what's good? For you know who decides? In the end of the day, it's God who decides if you believe in God or not. That's what I mean. I mean, just don't be a person who hates themselves. If you love yourself, you'll love others. That's just the rule. I wish all positive energy to everybody. Peace and love. This is your host from Alternative Reality, Luca. Have a great day.